This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And man, there are so many great offers by Disney right now. Like the free dining's been extended to like 2014. You've got the free Disney gift card offer. You've got the fall room only fall winter offer. You've got so many more great offers out there. And you might say to yourself, what's the best offer out there? Well, you know what? Here's the solution to that. Don't worry about it. Let the travel agents at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel help you figure that out. You tell them your dates, you tell them your party size, what your needs are, and you know what? They'll do all that math for you. It's like they've got Len in their corner over there saying, Len, here's some more math for you. And he just does it for him.
Woo!
That's how good they are. So, and your next trip to Walt Disney World and you're planning and you're saying, there's so many deals, let MEI and Mouse Fan Travel help you plan the next trip to Walt Disney World. Give them a try at www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, August 25th, 2010, and this is episode 763 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg from StudiosCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. And Len, very soon you are embarking on a trip to Europe where you'll be visiting the fabulously exotic countries of England and Norway.
That's right. So I'm packing this week. If we have any listeners in the UK and they're anywhere near Alton Towers, Blackpool, Legoland, Chessington, or Thorpe Park, or anyone in Oslo, Norway, send me an email and we'll try and meet up.
Len, if you could do me a favor, Len, while you're in England, could you please say hi to someone named Trevor for me?
Hello, Trevor.
What trip to the English countryside is complete without a visit from someone named Trevor?
Hello, Trevor.
Take care.
I swear to God, the first person named Trevor I find, I'm getting a picture. Wait, your name is Trevor? Wait.
Hey, come here, Trevor.
Care that you're 4 years old. Come over here. Take a picture with the strange American.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome to the show, Mike.
I'm sorry, Len. That list of cities that you read, was one of them Legoland?
Legoland's in Windsor.
So, like, are the little, like, different multicolored blocks there, and you just put them together and...
Apparently, it's all the rides, instead of animatronics, they have Lego figures. That's as far as I can tell, that's the appeal.
That's awesome.
I'm not knocking it. I'm going with it.
I want pictures.
Don't take any of the Legos.
No
I
problem.
want
No problem with pictures. I can't promise anything on the Legos.
Yep.
I have one of our listeners is a lawyer in the UK, though, so I have his phone number. He's my desperation phone call.
Also joining us on today's show is the fabulous Annette Owens, a manager of customer relations and group services for MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Welcome back to the show for the second time in a row, Annette.
Ooh.
I know, 2 in a row. It's almost school. You know what? In fact, they went back today. Woohoo!
That's right.
So life is back on schedule again. So I'm here more.
Good. Well, it's Wednesday, and we're answering your listener questions. We'll start with a question from Jillian in Morgantown, West Virginia, who's known on WWW.com and lines as Jillyflower.
Hoorah!
Hello.
You get a hoorah and a hello from Len. Okay, I made our first trip plan to Disney for our family of 4. We are staying at All-Star Movies December 10th to 17th, hopefully to beat the crowds. Now, our families, mostly my mom, are wishing very badly to go. Even though we're all set for this trip, I would love to do it up big in next May in a big house. Plus, we might have a little baby with us by then. So without spending so much time running around the parks and on site, what's the best community to look for? We definitely need our own pool, but what kinds of amenities can I hope for? How close can we get to the parks, and how far is too far away? She's actually talking about vacation homes. And this guy the subject of the email is vacation homes.
.com.
So, talking about vacation homes, Len, what's your advice to people who tell you that they're interested in a vacation home?
So there are a couple of ones. Obviously, the ones that are closest to Disney World are the most popular, and we have a great sponsor, by the way, that does vacation homes.
That's All Star Vacation Homes.
Yay, allstarvacationhomes.com. Most of them are within 15, 20-minute drive of Walt Disney World. A lot of them are off of is it Formosa Boulevard off of 192?
Yeah, it's kind of it's off of, it's like West 192 over there. It's very close to the Animal Kingdom area. You can, in fact, we said a number of times, you can actually see Everest from a couple of those homes.
Yeah, this is off of so this is to the southwest of Walt Disney World. Most of most of the vacation homes, they also have condos, by the way.
Yes.
So they all have pools. The condos obviously have a community pool, but I think the homes all have, or virtually all of them have, private pools.
Yes.
You can expect every bedroom to have a television. You can expect every room other than the living room and maybe the kitchen and there's a den to be a bedroom. So like every spare room is a bedroom.
Right.
And they'll all be decorated in floral styles or themed things like Disney themes. Beds should be comfortable. Everything should be clean. The kitchen should have every utensil and silverware piece that you need for an entire week. Glasses, plates, things like that. Everything should be in working order. I mean, really, when I've been there, I've been surprised at how nice the houses are.
Yeah, they really do a great job with those houses that I've stayed at an All-Star vacation. I've stayed at other vacation homes as well. They're I mean, if you have to look at the maps and look, because there are some that are much further away than others. So if you want to be close to the parks, which I would imagine, look for those communities that are closer as opposed to the other ones. What was the one, Mike, we stayed at? There was Windsor something or other. Windsor Gardens was the one we stayed at last time, but that wasn't as close as the one we stayed at the first time that we stayed at All-Star Vacation Homes.
Wasn't it Windsor Hills? Windsor Hills?
Yeah, Windsor Hills.
I thought Windsor Hills was the other one. But you look at the map. There's just literally you go to the All-Star Vacations if you're using that company. You go to their website and they have a map and you can see which ones are close by. But like Len said, I mean, if traffic works out well for you and you hit all the lights, I mean, you can really be in Animal Kingdom in like 5 minutes.
Windsor Hills and Windsor Palm are the two.
Yeah. Thank you. And they're very close.
And they're like they're very close to each other. They've got to be within. Oh geez, they're within a mile of each other. They're probably within half a mile of each other.
Yeah, so definitely it's I love them quite a bit, and for the pool alone, for your own private pool, it's so cool, isn't it? Wouldn't you agree, Newell?
Oh, absolutely. That's like my favorite part of the. Well, that in the game room. Well, that in the game room and the private theater.
Oh yeah, they're in it.
That in the game room and the private theater and the private bath.
And hey, if you don't even want to deal with having to worry about them and everything, MEI and Mouse and Travel can actually book that for you, an All-Star Vacation home, right in it.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Yes, we can.
There you go. Next email's from Ken from Minnesota, who writes, FYI, at the end of the shows, Matt plugs the reunion by saying that if you reserve a trip with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, you'll get tickets to the Illuminations party. That's partly true. You need to reserve the reunion group package with MEI, and then you get the reunion stuff. We initially had the setup, but changed because we got a better price for our group with a package. So you have to book into the benefits by booking with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for reunion. You have to book into the MEI package that's available, right, Annette?
Right. We have the reunion package, which is your room, and the dessert party. And the dessert party comes free with your room.
Right.
For the first 2 guests. If you do a Magic Your Way package, decide to go with the free dining, you're not booking into that package. You're booking into a different package. The reason it's limited is we have limited space. So, we're going to have to go with people that book in the reunion package.
Yeah. Okay. Ken also writes, I know you're not a fan of using 2 dining credits on the dining plan for a meal. How do you guys feel about Le Cellier dinner being changed to 2 dining credits next year? Len, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I'm probably going to channel Mike Scopa here, but I don't think it's worth 2 dining credits at all.
But that then makes it worth it because then all of a sudden now it won't be as crowded.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't use the dining plan to begin with, so hopefully
Right.
it'll be less crowded. The problem is, Mike, is it's going to go from it's going to go from 200 people trying to get into a 100-seat restaurant to 150 people trying to get into a 100-seat restaurant. It's only gonna narrow it down a little bit. I think it's still going to be popular. But hopefully during free dining it'll at least be easier to get into.
Now, when that happens, Len, the menu doesn't change, right? Like it's not like you're going to get better food. It's just a matter.
No,
of...
it shouldn't.
Yeah.
No,
No,
should
it's
be
the same.
food.
Okay.
Yeah, same food.
Yeah, that's aggravating. If you're a fan of the dining plan, if you like using it, I mean, that's got to be a knock on the plan. One more knock on the plan. It's just come on, the price, the quality, like Newell said, it's not going to get any better. They're not offering you any more. They're just upping it because basically
It's popular.
It was popular.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So from that standpoint, it's dumb, but you can still get in there for lunch for 1 credit. So there's that. Next email's from Ashley from Michigan Disney Dreamer 06.
Yay.
Right, so I've been listening to the show for a couple months, but already I love it. I just listened to the ABCs of Hollywood Studios, and I think it would be really interesting to do the ABCs of the Magic Kingdom. I know that Magic Kingdom had A3 tickets back in the early days of Walt Disney World, but I would be interested to hear how you would assign tickets for the rides now. For example, I know It's a Small World was an e-ticket back in the day, but I doubt you would classify it as an e-ticket today. We should do that show. What do you think about
That's a good one.
Yeah, what do you think about that line? Would you keep that e-ticket for Small World?
No, it's like a C.
Delay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you could give
When
it
you
that.
say?
Yeah, no, I don't think you give it an e-ticket at all.
No,
I would
I
say
agree.
maybe B.
Small world now.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do that show. It's a good idea. Thank you.
I think it's a great idea.
Next email's from John Azabash, who writes, my name is John. Not really a big fan, but I've listened to your podcast a few times.
Thanks.
But my girlfriend's father is a huge fan, Phil DeLucia.
Oh, Phil.
Anyway, we always
So Phil
love,
made him right, so his email would get answered.
actually, this is funny. I was in the parks over this past weekend, and someone came up to me. Are you Matt Hotchberg? Yeah. Nice to meet you. And then his mom was there, and he goes, "Oh yeah, he makes me listen to the shows. It's really not that bad." Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, if I suppress my gag reflex, I can kind of choke it down.
That's on par with that first time, Matt. What was that guy say? He goes, "Yeah, if I got nothing else to listen to, I'll put your show on."
That was classic.
Oh, gee,
I think I like
thanks.
Love it.
Thanks,
Anyway,
Lou.
make a long story short, I'm getting ready to propose to my girlfriend. The date, January 2011, after the marathon race. What I want to do is propose to her in Cinderella's castle in the suite. I know it's by invitation only, but I was wondering if you knew anyone who might be able to help. Anyway, I might be able to do this. She's been going to Disney World since she was 3 years old and goes every other year. She loves Disney, and I know it would be her dream to have something like this happen.
So starting off your letter with, "I'm really not a big fan," is not really,
Exactly.
Well, and I'm going to say it might not be a good idea to put your plans of when you're going to propose on the show either. What if,
especially if our father's listening.
Yeah, really.
I would, well, there's two answers. The first answer is you can't because they won't let you up there.
Yeah, no.
The second answer to it is you could email Disney and give them the story, and maybe someone will think it's a good PR story and take pity on you and allow you to do something along those lines. But
They must get a ton of those, though.
yeah.
Every day they probably get 100.
yeah, so you can send the email, but really you're gonna have to go with Plan B, whatever that is. So
Plan B, it's propose in front of the castle.
Space Mountain.
That's
Exactly.
You
That's
almost see it every day.
That's
I've
been
seen
done
like
to
7
death.
or 8.
Let's do something else.
Really?
Something-
You've never seen a proposal in front of the castle?
I
Oh,
have. Oh, yeah.
No, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
You have a more... No, I've never seen one either. You probably have a more romantic eye than I do.
That's why I said it's
Maybe
been done
so.
to death. It's time. I think you should do it on the first drop at Space Mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Whee!
There's
just
this
don't pull the
bench.
ring out because
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah, I
when,
wouldn't do that during the drop.
Oops.
you know, like
There's a
when you're,
bench in studios that's kind of special to Matt.
Yeah, that's lame. Who would do that?
Yeah, really. That's really.
I was gonna say, you know, like in when you go to like sports games, I go to like a baseball game, and like someone proposes during on the jumbotron, and you know all the jerks that say, "Don't do it." Do you think people do that at Disney? People
No.
are
Yeah.
yelling, "Oh."
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's just guys in general. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Scopa, leave him alone. Let him propose.
No, really.
Next email is from Hannah from Ohio.
Hannah.
Not my Hannah, though.
Oh.
Sorry. I recently found your podcast and have quickly become a fan. Anyway, I
See,
was
that's the
wondering
way
if
to
you
start a
could tell me
question.
I am what is known as highly sensitive. People like me often have problems with sensory overload. For example, things such as bright lights, loud noises, and too many conversations going on at once are extremely stressful to highly sensitive people. I especially don't like loud music like most people my age do. I'm only 17, and I'm very, very easily startled and have absolutely loathed bright sunlight since early childhood. While a road trip to Walt Disney World with my friends after graduating would seem like a dream come true, I'm now beginning to wonder if it may end up being a nightmare. I'm just not sure if I can handle having hundreds of conversations going on at once, a child nearby crying loudly over dropping his Mickey ice cream bar, and large crowds of people constantly closing in on me, all taking place at under the bright Florida sun for hours on end. I suppose what I'm getting at is, what kinds of attractions would you recommend for an easily overwhelmed person to avoid? For example, thanks to a previous review of Downtown Disney, I know the T-Rex Cafe is something I would stay away from because of the crowds and frequent loud noises. I know it's an odd question that applies to few people, but any suggestions, no matter how few or minor, would be greatly appreciated.
It's not that out of a question. Yeah, that's interesting though, because there's always something going on.
Yeah, in the park stuff, there's not a lot we can tell you to do there. I would say there's some attractions that come to mind. Dinosaur in Animal Kingdom, I think, is one.
Yeah, don't do that.
Once the 4-wheel drive goes out, I mean, that would just be a nightmare for you. I know it's a nightmare for me, and I don't even have sensory overload issues. What are some other attractions that you guys think of?
Tough to be a bug would
Overload.
be good.
Yeah.
Tough to be. Yeah, the 3D films.
What do you think Muppet Vision would be one?
That's pretty mild,
It
actually.
can be though. If
kinda
she's
mild.
as severe as she says, it can be.
Okay. So you maybe want to avoid the 3D films altogether.
With Muppets being the less stressful of the three.
Right. But don't
Yeah, I
forget
mean-
Captain EO.
Yeah,
Oh,
Captain
yeah.
EO, no. Sensory overload. Sensory overload. What about Mission Space? Don't do that.
Say
Oh
the
wow,
least.
no,
Yeah, really.
probably not. Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, the roller coasters, Test Track.
Yeah, roller coaster, Test Track, Tower of Terror. What about Big Thunder? I mean, they're screaming and stuff.
That's a good question. It's not very intense roller coaster by any means. It's just I don't know. I mean, I think she would know how she does on roller coasters, but that's a pretty tame roller coaster. That might be a good one to try. I would actually, you know what? The best place to start might be in Fantasyland. Those have the tamest attractions of all. You know, like Peter Pan's Flight, which I think is a great attraction to try out, and kind of go from there. Build yourself up a little bit. Maybe that's what you need, is that kind of like build up your tolerance a little bit, or at least enjoy those kinds of attractions to start with, and go from there. But don't go overboard. Don't know your limits. And I know you want to be there with your friends, and they want to go do stuff. You don't want to be you don't want to let them down. But certainly, you also don't want to lead to some sort of a nervous breakdown in the middle of the park. So take it easy, and hey, if you decide one day you just want to sit by the pool, nothing wrong with that either.
Exactly.
Actually, Animal Kingdom might be a good park for her. You've got the safari. I think would be fine.
Ooh, yeah.
The
The
trail.
trails.
The trails. Yeah, it's very self-guided.
I think so. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah. We found one person for Animal Kingdom. Good. I'm glad.
That's the person. You're the one.
Next email is from Billy in Long Island, New York. I'm 15 years old, and I'm going on to a trip to Walt Disney World soon. I know it's short notice, so don't worry. Okay, I feel better now. I'm going with a bunch of my friends, and we're staying off property. I'm a kind of a Disney freak, but I'm not sure what to do with my friends. I don't want to overwhelm them, but I'm getting frustrated when they attempt to go on Stitch's Great Escape first thing in the morning. Do you think I should take the trip in my own hands or go along with my friends? Thank you, guys. Love the show. I also have one more question. It's a grill and a cooler?
Nice.
Nice, Billy. Good question. Len, I think you get this a lot. Person A in group, big Disney fan. People B through D, not so much. What's the suggestions for that?
Leave the other ones at home, but that's probably not. I mean, you just got to tolerate it. Things like pointing out the unique aspects of the Disney attraction to them, a little bit of park history, maybe why Disney's so cool. So things like explaining how Space Mountain is completely in the dark and some of the history, for example, or all of the little details that make Disney Disney. Those are the things that usually help.
Yeah, and don't forget also if they want to ride something like Stitch's Great Escape first thing in the morning, just tell them hey, this is we can ride this later if you want, but we really should
Much later, next year.
But we really should take advantage of the opportunity and ride the rides that are going to have the biggest weight, so we don't have to worry about them later, like
Exactly.
Splash Mountain or Tower of Terror or something like
That's
that.
a great idea.
Definitely introduce them to Fast Pass.
Oh,
And if you can work together as a team, maybe that's something that you go do Stitch, I'll go grab the Fast Pass for everybody.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
Good. Next email's from Nick McKeever of Hannah City, Illinois. Len, did you know there's a Hannah City?
I didn't.
Must be full of
Hannah's?
Weenies.
weenies. There you go. We should. This joke's gone on long enough. Newell and I call Len's daughter Hannah a weenie, and
There you go.
Because
just a
she
joke
called
that we
us
just
To
say.
pick at her.
Yeah. Nothing better than an annoying little kid, isn't that right, Newell?
That's right.
Oh, that's great. Anyway, Nick writes, first of all, love the show. Thank you for bringing Walt Disney World to me everywhere I go. I'm currently planning a trip in September 2010. Yeah, we got it. And have a question about free dining if it's being offered. Assuming free dining is being offered again, which it is. And if the quick service dining plan is the only plan offered, if I stay at a Valley Resort, right, which it is, can I upgrade to the regular dining package, or will I need to stay at a moderate resort in order to get the regular dining plan for free? Can't you pay like $10, Annette?
You can pay for the upgrade to it, but you got to pay for that.
Yeah, it's I want to say was it $10 per person per day or something, or just $10 per person?
10, 12,
something like that.
somewhere
Yes,
around
so
there.
you can pay to upgrade, but it will cost you extra. Very good. Next email is from Derek Chapman. Writes, hey, Disney dudes and gal. I had an idea and I'd like your thoughts about it. This past December, you guys and others talked about there is no Christmas in Epcot's future world. Here's my idea. How about a mission space prep and landing overlay? Instead of training to be an astronaut, you're training to be the prep and landing elf. You start off in the
Oh, I
capsule
love
behind the
this.
reindeer that drops off over a house. The reindeer in the show take off like a rocket and then somehow end up at the end of the ride. You're looking through Santa's eyes. You see the reindeer in front of you.
Oh, I love this.
Ends
This
with
would
a
be
rough
great.
landing on the roof, and a house and a sleigh almost go off the edge of the house, just like the landing on Mars. That's a good idea.
I love it.
So they did this prep and landing. This was like was it like a special like made for TV movie last year?
Oh, with Tim, what's his name, right?
Tim Curry.
No. Tim.
Alan?
Yeah, Alan. Thank you. I don't watch too much TV. I forget people's.
Yeah, I didn't really catch it, but that's a good idea. It is a neat idea for an overlay for a Christmas thing. It's
Cool. I
good.
love it.
Thank you, Derek. Be sure to patent that idea immediately, by the way. Too late. Newell already got it. Next email is from Michael Phelps. Hey, I didn't know he listened to this show.
Hey, the swim guy?
Yeah, the Subway ad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
This isn't so much a question as a comment. I've been listening for a while. Your constant banter, mixed with your extensive knowledge of all things Walt Disney World, make your podcast an absolute must. That being said, episode 644 was one of the greatest episodes. Not only was 644, I think was the since Fred Block is being mentioned further down, I think that was the eating around the world, Mike.
there
Could
you
be.
Sure. Anyway, not only was the color commentary great, but the background music was excellent as well. But above all, this one statement that continues to linger in my mind: "It burns. Oh, it burns."
Yeah, that must have been Fred.
That was the sauce.
What was the episode number?
664. Sorry,
Oh,
not 644.
664.
664. Very nice.
I'm just looking it up.
Next email's from Allison, who writes, so if we're going to Walt Disney World for the Flowering Garden Festival, any cool stuff for kids like ages 9, 6, or 3 related to the Garden Festival?
Don't they put up a couple of those play areas?
Yeah, they have the special play areas and the butterfly
Yeah, they have the
area.
butterfly.
I've seen
Don't
lots
they-
of kids in there catching the butterfly.
Yeah, you're right. They have that, and then they have the play area, like you also mentioned, which is it's like that's so much it's a glorified jungle gym is what it is. But
Yeah, it's cute, though.
There's a lot more stuff that it's not to say that it's just a jungle gym. It's got a lot of fun stuff for physical activities for kids to do.
You
You can watch them.
They
They
had
do
for-
the mazes.
Yes, you're right about that, Alan. Good point.
Yeah.
They do the
They had
sand
the
castle.
past 2 years they've had the Pixie Hollow stuff for the for the young girls who might enjoy that.
There's a ton of stuff. They can do all the exhibits and craft stuff. I mean, it really is kid oriented.
Yeah, it's a good point. Cool. Next email is from Melissa Yokish of
Urbana.
Urbana. Thank you. She actually put the pronunciation over here for me. Thank you. Urbana, Illinois. M. Yokish at touringplans.com.
Yay.
Writes, hey, Fantastic Four, as well as the fabulous Annette. Just got back from a 5-day trip to the world. We visited over New Year's, and I have to say it was one of the busiest I've ever seen in the past 3 years. Thank
Really?
you for your podcast and great advice, especially from the good book.
Ding.
There you go. We followed the touring plan for boys 4 to 7 years old. It's so amazing that there are so many individual touring plans.
Thanks.
And we
I'll
opened
work there.
we opened Magic Kingdom Extra Magic Hour for 2 days, 7 a.m. and Hollywood Studios another day, and never had to wait longer than 10 minutes for anything. We had an amazing magical time, including my 5 and 7-year-olds first and second trip on Space Mountain and Toy Story Midway Mania. Also, quick shout out to the Lines app. It was such a great help touring, especially with how busy the parks were. It even helped me to talk my kids out of Maelstrom since I could show them the line was 90 minutes.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for the best Walt Disney World app out there. Will it be sold on iTunes anytime soon?
It's on iTunes. Just search for Lines and Touring Plans.
Cool.
It's also in the Android market.
It's also on Android. It's on Palm. It's on BlackBerry. Just visit m.touringplans.com.
But
Everyone should jump and try it right now because you really got me hooked. I hope Len is singing some Van Halen by now.
You really got me. They're a new album next year.
And jump right now. You really got me. On to the bad, though. In recent
Uh-oh.
years, we stayed at the Epcot Resort concierge floors in villas without complaint. But this year, we decided to go back to my childhood favorite, the Polynesian. We stayed in concierge, which I had heard was one of the best, and the concierge lobby was just wonderful. You can't beat the holiday wishes with some of the Hawaiian punch, the adult kind. Len, have you tried the punch? Awesome.
I have. I love everything about the Polynesian.
It's true. However, other than the view, I was very underwhelmed with the service at the resort. Having stayed at the Boardwalk Concierge this past June, I was shocked how much less we got for the money at the Polynesian. A few examples. Concierge not remembering my son's birthday. We had to ask for a birthday button, whereas my daughter's birthday in June, there was a button and cupcakes from Tinkerbell waiting for us on arrival. They didn't have our dining reservations printed for us. No welcome phone call or nightly phone calls with weather, park hours, etc. Just a lot less personal attention overall. Housekeeping was
Really?
okay, but no little towel animals. Not to mention,
Really?
they lost my daughter's irreplaceable blankie and did nothing about it, but transferred me to the old Key West lost and found. Not sure how that was supposed to help. And wished me a magical day. Somehow that didn't make my daughter feel magical.
Yeah, no, I could see how that might not.
That's really interesting that she would mention that kind of thing. Is there some things that the personal attention? I'm not too. Is that usual for concierge? I'm not sure. Len, is
No,
that
they
been your
should.
experience?
They should do that. Remind me to tell you the story about. Did we ever talk about Blanky on the show? Yeah, we did
Yes.
a long time ago.
Yes,
Lost,
yeah, we did a
Lost
while
and
ago.
Found is just interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You can ask Newell's wife. I remember that story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not bring that up again.
There's an old episode.
We all have a lost story.
The towel animal. Here's the thing. This is a sidetrack. I'm going to take a sidebar real quick about the towel animals. The towel animals used to be something cool that you would get if you were lucky.
Now everyone expects it.
Now everyone expects it. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying that they shouldn't have done it for you, especially for concierge, but I don't see it as a necessity. I don't know. To me, it's like it's something that if it happens, it happens. If not, hey. But anyway, Melissa also writes, coincidentally, we ate at Royal Table, I think Cinderella's Royal Table, this trip for the first time in 15 years and found that same kind of lackluster food service. This wasn't surprising. Things haven't changed in 15 years, but it got me thinking. It seems that Disney chooses to settle for mediocrity because they know we will fork over the bucks regardless of quality. Castle syndrome. I was wondering if this syndrome has now affected the Polynesian, morphing into monorail syndrome. Is it possible that because Disney knows people will stay there because of the monorail access, grounds, pools, etc., they don't feel the need to provide anything more than mediocre service, even though you're paying $800 or more a night, since they know you'll be coming back anyway? I thought maybe your Getting More for Less podcast might have been a little too negative at first, but after this last visit, I have to say I more than agree. I hope this is maybe just something, a temporary situation that may improve when the economy and profits improve. What are your thoughts? Have you seen the same decline at the Polynesian that we experienced? Is this Disney-wide?
Actually, the Polynesian has always been rated right at average or a little bit above average in most recent unofficial guides. There was a while though, a couple of years ago, where they were significantly below average, and we actually got more complaints about the Polynesian than any other. And but that's changed. It's got better since then. So I'm a bit surprised by this. If anything, it's probably a reaction to Stafford budget cuts at Disney World rather than anything endemic at the Polynesian.
Yeah, the Polynesian's always been a resort that stood out to me as one that I wouldn't worry about these kinds of issues occurring at. I mean, personally, I do think that there's a lot of more for less is coming around. Like, you're paying more and getting less. And it's just something that they're maximizing profits, whatever it may be. I mean, but that's a whole nother show for another time. But I mean, even at the resorts, though, I mean, the personal service I can't comment on, so I'm not gonna, because that's concierge and that's something that I don't know enough about to really comment on. But the concierge lounge at the Polynesian I think is the best. I think in terms of the food you're getting over there. I know that Mike, you and I one time we checked into the Polynesian concierge and I thought we had really great personal service over there. Remember that? It's like a special check-in area.
Yeah, I do. I was quite impressed with it, actually.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But it's good, Michelle. It's really good that you sent us an email. I really, I think it's beneficial to hear these
good.
kinds of stories.
Oh, if you could fill out a survey on touringplans.com, that'd be great too. This way we'll count it in the next.
There you go, Michelle.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, time for our last question of the day. And that means I'm going to give Mr. Newell 3 emails to choose from. One gets answered today. The other 2 go back into the email queue to be answered later. Are you ready, Mike?
Oh, it's so much pressure. Will I pick Mary Jo Collins' email? I don't know.
I know, really.
Oh.
Your options are a roast for Len.
Sorry.
Seriously.
Option 2. And the category is It's a Grill and a Cooler. And option 3, Princess Room Rumors, a.k.a. Newell, Don't Pick Me.
Let's go with that one.
All right, last email today is from Kevin Z of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Writes, listen to your recent episode about resort rumors. And this is the one, Len, that we did, what was it, a week or two ago?
Yeah.
It struck me, that was the Haunted Mansion room and the Royal Suite. Anyway, it struck me that Port Orleans Riverside would be a perfect place for a Princess and the Frog-themed princess rooms. Maybe Disney would place them in the Alligator Bayou and the Haunted Mansion rooms in the Mansion area. Anywho, thanks for the last, and see you at Reunion this year.
That's great.
Do you think that Disney would do a room or a series of rooms in the theme of a film that was mediocre at best?
Yeah, I don't think Princess... I was just thinking that, Mike, that they wouldn't do it about the Princess and the Frog. It just didn't... it's not like it wasn't a huge box office hit.
Right. I'm thinking classics, Peter Pan, that sort of thing. Nothing...
Yeah. But it was good about the... I thought what was good about the Royal Suite, or the Royal themed rooms, if you looked at that artwork, was that it wasn't specific to one princess. It wasn't like, it's Cinderella, or it's definitely Sleeping Beauty, or Belle. It was like takes elements of each and kind of combines them, so it's generic enough that it can fit the Disney princess mold, but not specific enough that you could say, oh yeah, this is the Cinderella room.
Yeah.
But it so reminded me of Cinderella Suites in the castle.
Right. It's definitely got that regal overtone to it. That would make you think that, but okay, very good. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Don't forget that this episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And hey, lots of great deals out there for Walt Disney World, lots of different offers. Rather than trying to figure out what's the best one, let the travel agents at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel help you pick that plan out. They can do all the work for you and tell you exactly. They'll have a breakdown. Here's what this would cost, here's what this costs, this is what this costs. And you know what? It'll make that decision process so much easier. You know what the best part about all this is? There's no cost to you. It's the same as if you booked it on your own, except you got people to do all the hard work for you. So what do you got to lose? Nothing. Check them out online at www.mousefantravel.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the WDW website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and the fabulous Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.